Okay, so lost two pay-per-views in a row. So I got to do a double punishment. I am about to rent Scooby-Doo and WWE: Curse of the Speed Demon from Amazon. Luckily, I have an Amazon gift card, so it's not going to cost me any actual money. At least I think. And even then, if it does, it's $3. And then after I'm done, I am going to make a smoothie and add the hot sauce. And maybe I'll include like a little montage of me making the damn thing. I don't know. But either way, I'll be back soon to talk about the movie while I drink something that will be truly terrible. See you in a bit. So, I don't know if you can tell, but there is a good amount of hot sauce in here. I mean, it has a more reddish tint than my fruit smoothies usually do, but, I would know that. It's not necessarily going to be public knowledge. But yeah, it was Texas Pete because it was on clearance for 30 cents. And so it's like one of those bottles, it's wide around and then it's skinny at the top. And it was filled all the way to the top. And I put enough hot sauce that the skinny part at top is now empty. And it's just the big part. So that's a good bit of hot sauce there. And yes, I'm putting this off. So this is going to be the actual punishment. So let's just take a big swig here. Oh, there it is. Maybe should have put more, but it's still not good. As for the movie, though, it was mostly mixed, and it's not even like bad to good. It went from boring in places to downright hilarious in others. So. I think I was almost dreading the movie more than this because I've never been a Scooby-Doo fan. It's never, like, even before I was savvy enough to recognize formulas, it just never held my interest. Yeah, this is not great. It's not killing my throat like I expected it to, but the big thing about the movie, though, is, so the setup here is WWE is holding some kind of race. And just right from the get-go, I'm like, why is it a race? It's the WWE. Why aren't they wrestling? But that's where it sort of helps, because all of the cars are ridiculous. And I have to say, all the WWE people, they all were decent voice actors. The only real exception being Stephanie, and even then she was good most of the time, but there were a couple lines. Mostly there were one was like, a generous father, I know something about that too. That one was just especially robotic, and I can't help wondering if there's a reason for that, if she had trouble getting those specific words in that specific order out. Also, like, the movie tries to do too much. Like, there's a subplot where Daphne starts becoming friends with Stephanie McMahon, and Velma gets jealous? Okay. Right away, one of the opening bits just made me roll my eyes immediately. Is, Shaggy and Scooby are in their food truck, because they have a food truck in this. And they're trying to watch the race, but they can't get a good reception. So Scooby tries to adjust the antenna or satellite dish or whatever. And then he opens the food truck window, only we see the race outside. And Shaggy goes, "Oh, right, I forgot we were already here." And I'm like, I know you two are idiots, but... Shaggy and Scooby are a big highlight of why I never got into Scooby-Doo, because they're two-note. They're hungry and they're afraid, and that's it. There's nothing else to them, and it gets old really freaking quick. Wondering if this is set in the Mystery Incorporated universe, though, because Fred kept going on about traps a few times, and that's the only time I really know him really doing that. Okay, one thing I do have to give the movie credit is, and maybe I'm admitting my own stupidity here, I don't know. But part of the reason Scooby-Doo never really did it for me is the formula. You know, this character we see for all of 2 minutes barely does anything. They always turn out to be the villain. You know, yeah, I don't even mind that it's never a real monster bit, whatever. So I have to admit, I got the mystery wrong. Because we're introduced to a producer early on who talking about, and then he has a scene where he's like, oh wow, there's a demon on the loose trying to kill everyone. That'll be great for ratings. We should totally do that. And he is actually one of the best parts of the movie. That scene is one of the best parts of the movie because he talks about this other show he does where people try to outswim sharks in meat-covered wetsuits. And that's all. That's so ridiculous. So I thought for sure, well, this is him. You know, this track or whatever has a legend about a demon. Of course he's going to do it. And no. It was actually Triple H. And that actually broke my disbelief a bit because I know it's a ridiculous cartoon and everything. But they point out, well, we see Triple H and Stephanie drive the car and they're attacked by the demon. So they pull out this weird remote control bullshit. Like, I know it's a cartoon, it's WWE, so I shouldn't be expecting hard science. In fact, I know there's so much here that science would not allow, but I'm just like, fucking really? Like I said, there's actually parts that are genuinely hilarious. One of them being The Miz. The Miz steals this freaking movie in just about every scene he's in. Like, not only is his vocal performance really good, but they just hammer in his gimmick of being a self-obsessed movie star wannabe. He keeps talking about how handsome he is and how everyone around him sucks. Like, at one point he wrestles the demon, and that's part of their supposed evidence that it's Triple H, is he broke out of the Miz's wrestling hold, but, you know, after the demon escapes, the Miz is like, oh no, he broke out of my hold, what do I do? And Paige, who's also really good in this, oh no, you could be losing your awesome. And he's like, I can lose my awesome! He does it better than I do, but it's great. And there's one, no talking about parts that are really hilarious. There's dinner after the first round, and there's an interview going around, and they're interviewing everyone, and then the text scroll underneath, like it says The Undertaker comes in second place, but it starts to update with who they're talking to. So, like, Miz, they're interviewing Miz, and he starts bad-mouthing Paige right there, and says, The Miz, he's cruising for a bruising, and then Paige starts to fight back, is like, here it comes! And of course, a fight breaks out, because wrestlers. And again, why couldn't it be some kind of wrestling thing? You have demons. I don't know if I could, because there's a lot here. I don't know how much I can go on about the movie and drink this entire thing, partially because I'm forgetting to drink it, partially because I don't want to drink it. Yeah, there's just enough hot sauce in there to be gross. Ooh, especially taking after such a big swick. Normally I make my smoothies with almond milk or oat milk because chocolate and vanilla. But chocolate and or vanilla for a hot sauce smoothie. Ooh, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. Oh god, that's gross. Yeah, then just all the parts in between the ridiculousness, I was literally like this. I didn't care. yeah, there's not much to say. I could tell you all the hilarious bits, but I won't do them justice, and there's nothing else I could say about it other than it's boring and or stupid in places. Like, it's just, I can't... Not only was it racy, but all the cars were ridiculous. And there's a part where they have to race on the water, so the cars basically turn into boats. Or, develop floating equipment. And this was planned. Not only do they drive these ridiculous cars, they're all mechanics. Because we only see Rusev work on his car. But I'd imagine they'd have to be all trained. Or maybe I'm just assuming because we see Rusev work on his car and then fix it as they're driving. Nothing else this movie was worth watching to see Rusev again. I miss him. I don't get to watch AEW, so I haven't seen any Miro. I loved Rusev. He was great. Ugh, it's so gross. And then not only do they have the cars, but they drive the cars everywhere. Because we see the motel, it's a motel. Let me just stress that the wrestlers are staying in for the night. And all these giant, ridiculous cars are in the parking lot. You guys want to see me drink all this? I mean, I'm not live streaming, so I can't get an answer, but... Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't have anything else to say about the movie, and I will drink all this, because there's nothing else. I need my fruit for the day. Ugh. Honestly, I think we should have saved this movie for Fastlane, because that's the car-themed pay-per-view, as it were. I also, as a Transformers fan, the fact that the demon's name was Inferno kept messing with me, but, that's not necessarily a mark against it. Ugh. Believe it or not, this is my first experience with Stardust. Because, all the wrestling videos I've seen, Cody Rhodes hated the gimmick. And I totally get why. But I think if I had been watching at the time, Stardust would have been one of my favorite wrestlers, because it was just so weird and so ridiculous. And they really lean into that. It really works in a cartoon format. We see Stardust and Goldust together, and one of my favorite bits of the movie, they just spend the whole movie acting weird. And when they meet Scooby for the first time, they go, "A talking dog," and then Goldust goes, "Bizarre." It's a silly, predictable joke, but it got a laugh out of me. Oof. Okay, maybe I did put the right amount of hot sauce in. But yeah, I can totally get why Cody hated the gimmick, and even though he's apparently been real professional, put all the responsibility of it not working on him, but I feel like I would have loved it if this was any indication. Got to see more Cody, which was bittersweet, because, I'm wondering if this is his last thing, because at the end of the movie it said, in memory of Dusty Rhodes. He was fine, I'm guessing I haven't seen him talk much, because he was kind of hard to understand in places, but I don't know. I've drank, 2/3 of this thing at this point? Yeah, I'm approaching the 15-minute mark, and it's almost done. I mean, if you guys want evidence that I finished this thing, I'll take a picture and have Blackbird put it at the end of the video. But I can't again, without just going on and on about all the hilarious bits, I can't think of anything else to say about this movie. Not necessarily a punishment, but this more than makes up for it. Oh god, we gotta think of something for Vaseline still. So yeah, I'll talk to you later. Hopefully next time you see me after the prediction video. Well, no, scratch that because I still gotta do. But I'm determined to do a Booker Z for March. I even have one that's semi-themed for it. So, but hopefully soon I will have my title back because I miss it. I miss not having to do these. Cheers.